All right, devotees are coming together. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Coming together with greetings, with obeisances, and happy to be together. So let us begin with Mini Vandanam. As we do, we're being recorded. And don't forget, we're on interpretation. So do choose English, Russian, or Portuguese. We've chosen English. All right. Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sadivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tvije Namaha. And Panchatattva mantra and Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this week we've been given the subject of overflooded meaning. Overflooded meaning. We're all meditating on the overflooded meaning expression. And there we are. However, there are lots of places where we get understanding about there are different levels to understand everything, and in the land of our home, the conscious world, then there is deeper, more deepest, extremely deepest, or in this case, flooding, more flooding, overflooding, whatever it may be. And this way, we've got so many examples. Srila Guru Maharaj, his Bhagavad Gita, giving us these extra layers of understanding. Srila Guru Maharaj quoting Bhagavad Gita in many places, giving us extra layers of understanding of Bhagavad Gita. And the discussions of Krishna with Ramananda Roy. For example, Srila Guru Maharaj's explanation of the Gayatri mantra, for example. Srila Guru Maharaj's explanation of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and how this has certain meaning to some generally coming across the Maha Mantra, then extra meaning, and Srila Guru Maharaj revealing how this Maha Mantra is entirely connected with Radha Krishna, Radha Govinda in the highest sphere of Vrindavan. It is, after all, the Maha Mantra. So many places, and our Kumkum Devi Rasi, who is blessed by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev, she's here and she's been enthusiastically talking on this subject matter today, even before I knew what the subject matter was. And she said, oh, we've got this subject for today. So let us come to Kumkum Devi Dasi and see what she's going to highlight for us. And please, if you click the microphone on you, I think it is good.
My dandavat to all of the devotees, and I will willingly go first because I read from Shakespeare that all is well that ends well. And he's renowned to be truthful and wise. So if I go first, then that means something will come along and give great assistance so that everybody can hear something very high. But I can say something that I learned from Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, in looking at this beautiful text. The article opens with the text 4 on the Samadhi Mandir in Navadvip Dham of Srila Gurudev, Temple of Love and Affection. And this beautiful text, which tells us about the value of Bhagavad Gita, the actual necessity for us to get these blessings and get an idea of how to go forward. And in Religion of the Heart, there's a explanation of this text, which is on the Samadhi Mandir. And in chapter 2, the section called Heart-to-Heart Transmission, Srila Gurudev says, when Krishna wants to reveal transcendental knowledge in your heart through his devotee, it must be revealed. Even you won't be able to check it. So we need connection with Krishna's devotees. Thus, the actual question is, how can we recognize a genuine devotee, a true religious person? To whom does Krishna reveal himself? The first verse to explain this, which explains the theme of the book, Religion of the Heart, must be, and this is from Manu Samhita 2.1, Vidvadbhi sevita sabdibir nityam advesha ragibi Hridayendra bhyanugyato yodharmastam nibodhata. Srila Guru Maharaj once gave a lecture in the library of Dunbad before a gathering of many highly qualified pundits and wealthy persons. He started his lecture with this verse. He explained that people think religion is found in books and that those books are written in particular languages, but that religion does not actually come from books or languages. Religion is communicated through the transcendental language of heart transaction. All religion presented in scriptures is first revealed in the hearts of rishis, munis, and sadhus. After it appears in their hearts, it is transmitted forward from heart to heart, and it later may take the form of books. So what can we say about religion? How much can we understand it? It is a matter of the heart. How can we feel the beauty and understand the glory of religion if our hearts are presently as filthy as a dustbin? Because our hearts are impure, we must try to understand religion from a clean-hearted sadhu. So just a little further down in Religion of the Heart, in the 4th chapter, the Supreme Controller, he explains more about how we can get this help from the gurus that we require. The teaching of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is that you have free choice and you decide what you want. You choose your destination. You have to properly realize what your needs are and then proceed in the appropriate direction. By worshiping demigods, you can attain Kanak, Kamini, and Pratishta, temporary wealth, enjoyment, and fame in this world. These are not the essential needs of our hearts. Srimad Bhagavatam has advised us that by pleasing our master, we will automatically please everyone and attain everything we need. If you pour water on the root of a tree, the whole tree is nourished. If you offer your devotion and service to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all demigods, all goddesses, and the whole world are satisfied. You can fulfill all your duties and desires by worshiping Lord Krishna. This is what is truly necessary for everyone. So a couple of very important points they are bringing out for this verse. We require the sadhus to help us to understand how we're going to go about finding out about the real religion, the definition, but what is that exactly? So going on and on about how it's heart to heart, not simply those words in scriptures. It's wonderful to think that of all the books that we have that we love to hear, they came from the hearts of the munis, the sadhus, and the rishis, and then they got made into books. So we care for both, but because it's the heart-to-heart transactions. Jai Srila Gurudev, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj.
Jai and Jai. And we are going to ask presently to Sachi Devi, so we're not going to put her on the spot. She's always ready with something. And when Kumkum said, so last, what is it? The last is best. Some expression you gave from Shakespeare.
All is well that ends well.
Oh, okay.
So regardless of what I may say, someone else will come along and will be good.
So that's your responsibility presently, Sachi Devi, not to put you on the spot. But in the meantime, our translators also, we've got lots of things. I couldn't stop finding kind of comments and things. But the last one, which is number 6 that you have on that sheet, digital sheet, is very short. It's from the Loving Search, and it's everything's practical for us, but this is very practical for us. So Srila Guru Maharaj, in Loving Search, you know, he's giving us the highest aspiration, the highest understanding, Radha, Krishna, etc., plus, plus, plus. And then Srila Guru Maharaj says, that is the position of our highest aspiration. And according to a devotee's adhikar, or spiritual qualification, that sort of meaning will awake in one's mind. It will be awakened, discovered by sadhana. At that time, the covering of the heart will be removed and love will spontaneously spring up from the fountain of the heart as the inner function of the soul. So, if we're going to say about overflooded meaning, then overflooded meaning here we are finding it's not, again, a book matter. It is our sincere aspiration for that and doing what we are advised, which is our sadhana given to us. So that was very short. And actually, probably, all of these quotes I have here are related to the fact that we cannot get any meaning beyond like a superficial meaning without the grace of the Vaishnavas. And that we have to come pranipat pariprashnena sevaya, so that we have to come with humility, sincere inquiry, and seva. These items are necessary, and we must come to the Guru. We must come as a disciple. We've come to learn. We're not coming to hear and challenge. We're coming to hear and accept. And this is the humble attitude of the student coming to the master. And so, it's Bhagavad Gita time of year with Devashishu reading Bhagavad Gita in London in the weekly Zooms. But Bhagavad Gita, Srila, I'm going to read a little bit more. And this is also from Loving Search for the Lost Servant. That is Srila Guru Maharaj in the Loving Search for the Lost Servant, which we all know is a high book only dealing with Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna combined, and Radha Krishna Leela. And then Guru Maharaj here is saying, Bhagavad Gita says, You cannot change the environment. If you want peace, you must regulate yourself according to the environment. And then Guru Maharaj saying in his own words, the whole gist of Bhagavad Gita's advice is found here, to try to adjust yourself with the environment, because you are not the master of the environment. All your energy should be devoted to regulating yourself and not the outside world. This is the key to success in spiritual life. Bhakti does not depend upon the environment or on the dealings of others. It is a haituki apratihata. Nothing can obscure that flow except our own ego. I am my own greatest enemy. Hare Krishna. And then giving a quote, Uddaret atmanatmanang natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandur atmaiva ripu atmanaha. We can elevate ourselves or degrade ourselves. We are our best friend or our worst enemy. No force outside can check us if we are sincere. Of course, for beginners, there is some concern about a proper environment for spiritual cultivation. But even that is also dependent upon the nature of their sincerity or sukriti. Nahi kalyanakrit kashchit durgating tata gachchati. The assurance is given here by Krishna. He says, I will be there to look after you in any unfavorable circumstance. I am omniscient and I am omnipotent also. So now I know everything and I can do everything. This is Krishna. So if anyone is directed towards me, I will look after him. And it has also been seen in the history of the cases of Dhruva, Prahlad, and so many others, that sincerity is invincible. Even obstacles may improve our position if we can take them in the right way from a higher angle of vision. It may be seen, or from a higher angle of vision, it may be seen that everything is coming to help us. You're going to ask me why that's connected with overflooded meaning. Well, because I was ready when I was looking for others. And I did select others which are maybe more relevant. But one of the beauties about any subject is, why did I include that? About any subject is that things jump out at us and give us inspiration and life, and we want to share them. So I was sharing that, starting with Bhagavad Gita, on the theme of Bhagavad Gita. You just have 2 days more before the next Bhagavad Gita class. So I hope you're all doing your homework. Hare Krishna. All right, I better not read any more. I could read you a whole book if you like. But believe it or not, amongst my quotations was the importance of the devotee, that it will be received by even the study of the scripture, understanding the scripture. It will be received by us from the devotee. And so everything we do, we must connect it with the devotees. And our reading, we should connect with the devotees, means with Guru. And we've got that perfect example of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. We have our sadhana, we have our daily nourishing program, and so we don't overeat and we don't undereat. We don't just read all day long, and we don't under-read. This way, how Guru Maharaj and Gurudev gave in the mat, it is very practical for us. Some reading in the morning, some reading in the evening, and seva. Hare Krishna. So, does anyone have a question for Kelly Kadamba Devi Dasi? Oh, she was there.
She was.
Oh, she went away.
Oh,
well.
where did he go?
And Abhinava Sundar Prabhu?
No.
No, oh
The
dear.
question has to be for Ishvarananda.
So, well, I don't want to put Ishananda on the spot, but he's actually good at being put on the spot. He's quite good at that. So, but we're going to put instead Chinmoy Dev Prabhu on the spot. So, please you ask a question, otherwise I'll have to ask a question and he won't like
Is it about the Oxford comma?
that. Or is it about the way the peacock feather? Lots of things we're discovering, by the way. Any question for Chinmoy Dev Prabhu? Okay.
Okay.
Overflowing meaning, or why is, how do we know that Krishna's peacock feather should be pointing towards Radharani? Something Chinmoy Dev Prabhu found out today while proofreading.
Yes.
Have you got a microphone?
Oh, I do not.
Okay, Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, I don't know what he's going to say. I'm listening as well.
Dandava pranams to everyone. Oh, well, on the subject of overflooded meaning, what I think maybe what the point of that title and the connection with the Bhagavad Gita is that there is so much meaning, continuous revelation upon reading the Bhagavad Gita. So even the Srila Govinda Maharaj said, 40 years I have been reading the Bhagavad Gita, and again, I'm getting some new revelation every time that I'm reading it. So what's the meaning of the what's being revealed by Krishna? That is infinite. And so the meanings can be infinite. And meaning, I guess another way of understanding meaning is what is truth. And my favorite English shloka of Srila Maharaj, truth is to dance in harmony with the most original plane according to its wave and vibration. So there, it's saying that whatever Krishna says is the truth, that is the truth, and we are to dance in that wave. Very beautiful. So very good example would be in the Mahabharata, when they were deciding on how to kill Drona, they decided they must kill his son first, Ashwatthama. And Krishna said to Yudhishthir, okay, Yudhishthir, you are a very honest person. You never tell a lie. I want you to say Ashwatthama is dead on the battlefield. And Drona will lose his will to fight. And then we can kill him. And Yudhishthir did not like this idea. But again, this is coming from Krishna. So you must follow. This is the truth. And so they decided that there was an elephant named Ashwatthama. And then Bhima would kill that elephant. And then Yudhishthir would still say that Ashwatthama is dead. And so when they were on the battlefield, Bhima goes and kills the elephant Ashwatthama. And Yudhishthir, Krishna goes, okay, now it's your turn. And Yudhishthir goes, Ashwatthama is dead. The elephant. He couldn't really actually do that, do completely what Krishna wanted. He had to put down that little asterisk, the elephant. So, and then at this point, his chariot, which was floating, it always floated 4 feet or something like that above the ground. It never touched the ground anyways. And after he said that, it touched the ground. It stayed on the ground. And one interpretation is that because Yudhishthir told a lie, he lost some mystic power or he lost his righteousness. And so so his chariot touched the ground. But another interpretation, and the Vaishnava interpretation, is he just didn't accept what Krishna said. immediately accept what Krishna said, accepted it as absolute good, and say that. And so that's why his chariot fell to the ground. So when considering the meaning of something, we should consider also the source, where that's coming from. You can see that the Lord wants to reveal himself to his pure devotees. And so those pure devotees who have the greatest connection with Krishna, they are being given the greatest revelation. We can see this in one example. We're coming to it in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is trying to affectionately give guidance to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu instead gives his mercy to him. And so, and one of the things that Mahaprabhu explains is the Atmarama verse. So he gives 18, I believe, explanations of this verse. And this is miraculous for Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He is immediately charmed and stupefied by these explanations of the Amarama verse. But later, Sanatana Goswami asks, I heard you gave 18 explanations of the Atmarama verse to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. I wish to hear those. And Mahaprabhu said, oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember what I said. But I can give you some of what I understand now. And he gave 61 interpretations of the Atmarama verse. And so why is Mahaprabhu being able to reveal so much more? Is because his pure devotee is in front of him. And I believe in the Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying that you, Sanatana Goswami, are drawing this out of me. You are drawing these meanings out of me. So when we're talking about overflooded meaning, this is the nature of the infinite. That infinite meaning can be drawn out from the Lord, can be revealed by the Lord, according to the recipient's capacity and dedication and devotion. And so mercifully, the Vaishnavas have come and they are giving us service. And one of those services right now is the editing of the Kirtan Guide. Maharaj has been working tirelessly day and night to try to complete the new Kirtan Guide. It's very beautiful, got many new songs in it, and we're all going to be very happy when it comes out. And one thing that struck me on a personal level was that I heard recently that, whatever capacity we have, that we should give. In fact, this was in the songbook, that our enemies, lust, greed, anger, envy, pride, 6 enemies. He said, these are our enemies and we want to make them go away. And this is Narottam Das Thakur, I believe. But he also says, I will use those enemies in my service to the Lord. So I'll use my anger against the non-devotees. And he goes on and explains that even these things can be used in the service of the Lord. And so me personally, I like to find faults. I am a fault finder. I'm very bad.
Hare Krishna.
I have this horrible defect in me, and I don't know how to get rid of it. But by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, they have engaged me in the service of fault finding. So now this horrible defect in me has now become something positive.
Hare Krishna.
I am now serving the Lord with this fault finding tendency. And so this is the mercy of the Vaishnavas, that they will see your impurities, take those impurities, and engage them in service. So we have to be cognizant of the fact that everything is coming through the Vaishnava. All our good fortune is coming through the Vaishnava. and all our ability to serve the Lord is coming through the Vaishnava. Jai Guru.
That fault finding, just to make it clear, is being utilized
Yeah, I forgot to tell you why.
for proofreading and finding all the as you say, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, all these things, proofreading. But I have to say, there's some luxury, or I don't want luxury, but it's in a way many things that we can use for proofreading today are at our fingertips. Whereas before, we'd always be with the dictionary, going with the dictionary, and it was a much, much slower process. But still, to be thorough, you have to have good eyes. So, very valuable service. Coming from a team of devotees, by the way. Hare Krishna. And what were you going to say? Something you discovered while fault finding? Proofreading, sorry.
No, I just found that like even these bad qualities in me, they can be engaged.
Hare Krishna.
They can be engaged for the service to the Lord.
Okay, so hiding at the back of the room, though I believe not really hiding, but came in last, Munindra Mohan Prabhu. So here's a microphone for Munindra Mohan Prabhu, and we do ask him to come forward a little bit, please.
Totally. I'm prepared because I'm Pujari on Monday.
Oh, you're Pujari. So it's, yes, so the Pujari in the background here, but he's in the foreground of Seva.
And I follow here and there what you are talking, and very nice, as usual. And Dandavat to all the devotees. And of course, the meaningless idea that the universe is meaningless is very very absurd, and some people think like this. And actually, in Krishna consciousness, we've been exposed to the culture that show exactly the opposite. Everything is meaningful to the infinite. And I heard Srila Maharaj telling even a blade of grass has infinite meanings. And we don't know. We may know some of them, but very shallow, superficial identification of the reality of every single living being or form in the universe. But we know everything participates to the pleasure of the Lord. And all the creation has this meaning, give some pleasure to Krishna. And how a blade of grass can do that, we don't know. But we heard that even the grass in Goloka Vrindavana is feeling Krishna prema when Krishna step on the grass. And the earth also. So how much meaning can be in a blade of grass, in the ontological atmosphere? And here in the phenomenal world, we are habituated to see everything according to our profit, our pleasure. So maybe a blade of grass has no meaning. We just cut the grass with the machine. But yes, everybody can see green grass in the springtime full of flower is so much beautiful and must be meaningful. And so it's very nice to see the life in this way, also to discover more and more layers of meanings according to the vision that our Gurudev gives to us, our deeper transcendental vision. That's it, Maharaj. For a Pujari, what do you look?
Pretty good for a Pujari.
Savitra, you want to say something?
So, by the way, while Munindra Mohan was talking, I'd just like to say that today, interestingly, I found out that on the internet, here is Munindra Mohan Prabhu and Krishna Kanta Devidasi giving oh, is it running or not?
No. It's solo divino.
Okay.
I don't know from where you get
It's running, and interestingly, you can set it so that it gives immediate translation into English, and it is an interview that they did with the lady
Yeah.
Samantha, and who is I don't know what you call influencer or something like that, and got thousands and thousands of subscribers, and many people watch. And so also Munindra and Krishna Kante, just 4 days ago, it says here, or it was posted 4 days ago, they made this interview, which is online. So just because it's in Italian doesn't mean we can't understand when it's in English. And the title is La purificazione della coscienza secondo Veda. I don't know. Anyway, just a little advertisement, but I didn't see it all, but I saw quite a bit of it. And it's just so practical for the public. So practical preaching for the public. And by the way, at the weekend, one of those thousands of people who view these interviews came here and stayed here for a whole day practically, very much appreciating what she'd come across.
Oh.
1 upon 2,000.
You had 2,000 views and one person came. But this, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says everywhere, it is rare to have a devotee out of thousands of people. Somebody may be actually inquiring after getting a better life according to religious principles, which is karma. And then out of those, somebody may be making that sincere search for something higher than just success in this world. Out of those, somebody may become a devotee, but out of those who are becoming a devotee, then only somebody may come to this Krishna conception. So this is the grace of Mahaprabhu, and we can see that the devotees are 1 in 2,000 or 1 in a lot more, maybe the percentage-wise. But anyway, just a little plug there. And who was speaking?
Maybe Madhusudan?
No.
Oh, Madhusudan. No? Okay. Okay, well, Sachi's been waiting to say something all this time. She's ready, and we're going to pass the microphone over to Sachi Devi.
Dandavat Maharaj. Dandavat, dear devotees, Dandavat, dear Maharaj. We are the applicants and recipients of overflooded meaning. That meaning that came in our life so amazingly, inconceivably, and we can say unexpectedly, and it is so impactful. We receive the most valuable meaning any living entity in any universe can receive. This is aspiring to love the Supreme All-Love Lord Krishna better and more. About this I think of almost every day. And every day I think, what a mercy that this overflooded meaning has come to us. And then I was reading one of Gurudev's most favorite verses in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And some months ago, you were also reading this verse over many times. And that is, Krishna Lilamrita Sara, Tara Sata Sata Dara, Dasa Dike Bahe Yaha Hoite, Se Chaitanya Lila Hoya, Sarovara Aksaya, Mano Hamsha Charaha Tahate. What is Krishna Lila? It is the real essence of nectar. It is the gist of sweetness, happiness, and ecstasy. The sweetness of the sweetest thing that can ever be conceived is represented in Krishna Lila. Then what is Chaitanya Lila? In Chaitanya Lila, that sweet nectar of Krishna Lila is flowing in all 10 directions, in hundreds of streams, as if from a fountain. The fountain is Chaitanya Lila. Although Chaitanya Lila appears later than Krishna Lila, Chaitanya Lila is the source, the foundation. We see that Krishna appeared in Dvapara Yuga, in the previous age, and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared later in Kali Yuga. Still, their Lila is eternal. First, there is the giver, then the gift, and the gift of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that in all the 10 directions, he is distributing unlimited streams of sweet Krishna Lila to the world. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami concludes, O devotees, come, like so many swans, you must swim in the lake of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. From that lake, Krishna Lila is flowing to the world in different streams. Devotees like clouds take nectar from that lake and distribute that nectar freely to the fortunate souls. Come and live in that lake. Ask the swan of your mind to take shelter in that lake. May that swan swim in the nectarian lake of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and precepts, from where so many hundreds of streams of nectar are flowing in all directions. O devotees, I offer this humble prayer to you. That was my contribution, Maharaj. That, but what I thought is the meaning of so many meanings, but all the time what we all have said in a different way. It's like we're dealing here with the infinite divine beauty and charm and love. So it is never ending. And then from all sides, what you said before also, you said something and you read something. It all has meaning, actually. It is all beautiful and every angle is giving some Krishna presence, Krishna's advice and Krishna's calling us back to him, actually, or Chaitanya or Gurudev or Nityananda or Mahaprabhu and all the devotees also. Okay, this was my contribution, Maharaj.
Very beautiful. And almost we would have been amiss if we hadn't heard that sloka somewhere this evening. Because this is such a beautiful sloka. This is the golden volcano of divine love.
Yeah.
So that is overflooded, overflowing. And in the chat, yes, in the chat, I looked to see Anangalata Devirasi, she put in the chat in Portuguese, but actually I then put it into Google Translate and it translated what I read a little bit earlier. So she was giving in Portuguese that section about how sadhana, it all comes through sadhana, all these overflowing things. Very beautiful. Thank you, Anangalata Devi.
That's a question.
Oh, it's a question.
She's asking a question.
Oh, there's a question.
Yeah.
So what's the question?
Yeah.
Maybe
Chaitanya
Chaitanya Moy can turn on the... Can you say what is the question for us, kindly?
Can you hear me, Maharaj?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so she's saying her Dandavat Gurudeva and to all the devotees. The theme of seva is always in evidence, is always being called attention. One of my difficulties is to to use material wisdom like science and studies and career, etc. Because many times I feel discouraged in learn things, get material knowledge instead of being acquiring transcendental knowledge, transcendental wisdom from our gurus. And I see myself paralyzed in relation of both. I don't know where to go. I had an insight that the material knowledge, mundane knowledge, could be seen as a paraphernalia of Balaram. Would that be it? Was that wrong? That material knowledge would be a paraphernalia of Balaram.
Well, there's an interesting question. Mundane knowledge. Well, first of all, everything is coming from Krishna, and it is Balaram who is the origin of both Maha Maya, which is the arrangement for this world, and Yoga Maya, which is the arrangement of the upper world. Now, that's quite a lot of analysis to think that mundane knowledge is coming from Baladev. So I'll avoid that part because everything comes from Krishna, nothing separate from him, and Krishna's first expansion is Baladev, and from him are coming the quadruple expansions, and from them more. There's a whole complicated science, well, factual science in the spiritual side. But this point about feeling restricted, that I'm not fully going into my material learning and maybe your career, etc. I'm not going fully into my spiritual life because I also have mundane duties. This is a good feeling to have because it makes us aware that we should try to make our working life also our devotional life. Now, I'm not sure what is your occupation, your profession, I don't recall, but when we are in doing our material duties, we must see this in relation to Krishna. So that means we will see our household in relation to Krishna, our method of earning our money in relation to Krishna for maintaining the household, etc. But our whole life needs to be aware of Krishna. So in the material world, we should more or less accept happily what is readily coming. If we've reached the ceiling of our career within a corporation or something, we don't have to go harder and harder to try to go to the next level to get a bigger desk and a bigger car. But we can be content where we are and give then more of that brain intelligence, if you like, that intelligence into our actual Krishna conscious things that we do. So the trick is to be able to make all of our life Krishna conscious. And that means, as we heard before, about our environment is not independent of Krishna. Our environment is perfect. Wherever we are, wherever we're born, whatever is our duty now, wherever we've been placed, it is all the perfect arrangement of nature. And it is perfectly arranged, actually, by the Lord to be our training ground, if you like, to see how we can put Krishna in the center of everything we do right now. So by sadhana, this regular reading and chanting, and worshipping, honoring prasadam, the basic things, it's a happy thing. Our regular spiritual nourishment, we will carry those teachings into our daily life. So what we read in the morning will bring into our daily life. So this is one aspect of seeing that. And we all have to do something in this world. And if we find it a bit hard going in the material world, we just have to remember Krishna's put me here, he's put us here because we left home, basically. We ran away from home. We denied the Lord and we decided to try to make it on our own in this world. And we're finding the difficulties. We're being reminded that it's not our enjoyable place. Our place of actual joy is in service to the Lord. And so we need to try to match our daily life with that service. And when we are finding it is a bit of a struggle to learn to maintain whatever position we are in society, etc., then we'll take that as a reminder that, yes, we should not be laboring for our livelihood. We should be engaging in our service life with the Lord. And as much as we can put this into our mind, our consciousness, we'll be preparing ourselves for the next step. In other words, we only have this body, this life, this environment for a few years, but we have an eternal journey, and we are preparing ourselves, as Krishna promises. One who puts him at the center, Krishna will take him and look after that person. So we are trying to do that, and we are following the practices. We are engaging in the favorable activities and leaving aside the unfavorable activities. We're finding favorable association, leaving aside unfavorable association. And always we are trying to keep in mind the good tips that we've been given. Not only tips, but strong advice that we've been given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Rupa Goswami, by Krishna himself, by the devotees coming down through Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, to our very doorstep. So it's good to be aware that, yes, somehow I'm forgetting Krishna, or that it's hard work in the material world, but it's giving us more of an opportunity to fill in the gaps in our own devotional life, so we can be actually remembering Krishna 24 hours a day. And it's not so much what we do, it's the consciousness we do it in. Hare Krishna. And there is one devotee, and I met him first of all actually in Singapore at a temple, and very surprised I met him in our temple in Navadip maybe a year later. And I didn't know, but he was a businessman, and I met him in Singapore at a temple, and we had a very nice conversation. And in Calcutta, he had a business, and he was a devotee through and through. He was wearing dhoti, kurta, tilak, everything, and he's a businessman, and a humble businessman. And I would go to his office sometimes, and he faced many difficulties. And I was in his office when the dacoits, like mafia, you can say, came to extort money out of him. And it was a very awkward position. But I thought, if it was just a regular person's office, I would just leave quietly. But he's a devotee. So I stayed there. And really, he was quite exemplary how he dealt with everything. And afterwards I said, oh, this is very difficult. I said, this is all part of doing business in Calcutta. You have to. And he said, and it happens again and again. He said, but we just have to negotiate. And he told me like the story. So there are challenges, even when you're clearly as a devotee in the office with tilak and everything else. The mafia don't give any regard to that and think, okay, oh no, they're a devotee, will give them an easy life. But he's remembering Krishna, and I was surprised how cool and calm and steady he was in that environment, remembering Krishna and doing his business. Hare Krishna. So, do your best to remember Krishna always, and the secret we've been told is to try to always chant 25 hours a day, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, within our heart, within our mind. And everyone faces difficulties in this world. And so we must accept where we are in the world and go forwards, because we have wonderful advice. We have pure, honest guidance and advice coming from Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, coming to us in this generation directly. We've got all of this advice freshly, and we'll try to put it into practice, try to understand Gurudev's message, Guru Maharaj's message. Jai, very practical question. We hope we could help answer that. And even if you're in a temple in devotional life, it's not that, oh, suddenly everything is going to be without its challenges and difficulties and this, that, and the other. The world's nature is facing challenges, but we'll do everything for Krishna consciousness. And we will try to see every situation is for us to learn from. And we need to do that not just from the book, but for ourselves. And we really must try to learn from every situation, adjust to every situation. Hare Krishna. And we must say...
Dandavats, obrigada, obrigada Chaitanya, muito obrigada.
De nada. I forget the Portuguese response, but something similar. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hari Hari. Okay, this is a good response. Govinda Govinda. Hare Krishna. The Vaishnavas, and this is Guru Maharaj's expression, the Vaishnavas, they are the most optimistic. In the regular world, people just become numb in their work, numb in their life, just waiting for the day to retire and then just wither away and pass away. That is not a very bright way to lead one's life. But the devotees are optimistic to face things with Krishna in the front. We are on a journey forwards. And we've got that guide, the best guides of all for that journey. That's Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. That is the embodiment of the scripture, the embodiment of Mahaprabhu's teaching, the embodiment of overflowing generosity, in fact, to give their energy for us all over the world to have this opportunity of Krishna consciousness. So let us hold on to that carefully. Hare Krishna. Yes, Kelly Kadam. No, Kelly didn't come back. Devananda Prabhu. Sorry, Devananda Prabhu. You are very small on our screen. Huh? Okay, they're having a debate or claiming that each other have something to say. But it's all good. Does anybody have a question or something that they would like to share? Actually, I would prefer something you'd like to share from our gathering today, because we're a little bit at the end. But sometimes you do have something. Oh, I would like to share this. Would anyone like to put up a hand? Ishwarananda. Prabhu. Well, there's a hand, but it's the mouse.
Your hand.
The mouse's hand is right beside Ishwarananda Prabhu's face with a hand there. So Okay, our internet failed because it's connected to the electricity and it does keep going off. So we'll sign out just for now with the big jais to our masters, our life and soul. Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Namacharya ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Bol.
Jai
So-
Madhusudan Maharaj ki
Jai.
So we have a little bit of Indian flavored electricity today. All right, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Much appreciation, the presence of you all, and to our translators, to all the devotees everywhere. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Bol.
So I think we'll just simply continue happily, and we'll meet you again. Well, some of you during the week, and if not during the week, then next week, and we'll have more devotees and different devotees here with us. We have devotees arriving too. Gaura Premanandi.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Ashchi.
Yes.